Audio 3. Now check it out here, man. I'm sitting up here looking at the morning news. I get up and I look at because I'm not a really morning news person when it comes to like the television. I got it that like years ago. I'm an online type of person, you know what I mean? I get on Google News, Bing News, and see what's on the headlines. So I'm looking at right now. So okay, first story is Senate passes $95.3 billion Ukraine-Israel aid package. Now this is interesting right here because just like last week, I saw where the House rejected the shit, but the Senate passed it. So it says here, according to, this is from, let me see. This is on, okay, Washington. President Biden's drive to send more aid to Ukraine took a big step forward as the Senate passed a $95.3 billion package on Tuesday that also includes funds for allies Israel and Taiwan, overcoming the objections of many Republicans who oppose spending so much goddamn money abroad. The Senate's approval of the measure of a 7-29 vote comes at a critical moment for Ukraine, which has been running short of supplies and manpower after a failed counteroffensive against Russia last year. Blah, blah, blah. Either way, these sons of biscuit eaters in the Senate are sending hundreds of billions of dollars overseas to just a couple of, like, this is nonsensical to me. And America has gotten to the point where we don't produce shit in this country. We don't really have a real gross domestic product. We buy everything from overseas. The business infrastructure is fucked all to be damn. We invest all our money overseas and overseas labor. The U.S., I mean, it's very frustrating because when you see every level of how the money is being spent, it makes you just wonder, like, why am I paying taxes, man? Anyway, let me get off that story because I'm gonna get upset. Now, I see another story here that has, now this is pretty interesting. Margot Robbie. Now, she has a company named Lucky Chap, and I presume that that's her, that is actually her production company, which funded or which produced the Barbie movie. That was her project, from what I understand. Now, I didn't see the movie because I'm not a figot, and I don't give a fuck about no damn dolls and Barbie and all that shit, right? But salute to her because they said she signed, after, the Barbie movie grossed over like almost like $1.5 billion in the global box office. So when you move the needle that much, you get into the B's. That means they gonna mess with you on the back end. So now keep in mind, Barbie is a brand. So unless she planning on doing a bunch of doll movies and stuff like that, maybe she's gonna do a sequel or whatever. Like I said, I didn't see the movie. I don't know if Barbie died at the end. I don't know. I doubt it, but I'm just saying, it makes you wonder what is she going to do going forward. Is she going to stick into the fantasy type stuff with the Barbie type deal? Because I don't know how many movies you can really do. I'm not really going to get into the details right now on how many years. It says multi-year, but I don't see anything specifically how much they signed her for. But it's probably a production signing where she's just gonna produce her own film underneath her Lucky Chap banner. And since she's, like I said, pulling that much weight is incredible. $1.45 billion global ain't nothing to sneeze at. So salute to Margaret Robbie. She's a foreigner, but she looks all American. So what can you do? Now, there's another story here that I saw that caught my eye. It says Stone Age megastructure found submerged in the Baltic Sea wasn't formed by nature. Now, according to this report, they claim that this structure was around 11,000 years ago. It says researchers and students from Kiel, Kiel University in Germany first came across the surprising row of stones located about 69 feet or 21 meters underwater during a marine geophysical survey along the seafloor of the Bay of Mecklenburg, about 6 miles or 9.7 kilometers off the coast of Rurik, Germany. So they discovered this about 3 years ago, according to them, and it's made of over 1,600 stones and stretched more than half a mile. So basically, a damn monkey or something like that put a bunch of rocks together and they're making a big deal out of it. So moving on from that, I see another weird story here about some church folk. You got Austin Stone Church pastor fired over sexually explicit messages with men since 2011. Boy, oh boy. So apparently, Pastor so-and-so liked the boys. Let me see if I can get some information here on the name of this weirdo. Okay, Austin Stone Church says several elders were made aware of the situation Sunday night of February 4th. Through reviewing the nature of messages, it was clear that the termination was necessary. They fired Ivy. So let me see. It says the name is Ivy. What the hell is his full name? Okay, Aaron Ivy. Aaron is the first name. Last name is Ivey. And it says he has showed signs of predatory and manipulative behavior and engaged in sexual exploitation and abuse of influence. So if we got another one of these weirdos in a setting where they have influence over the youth, and they put their dirty, disgusting kinks and fetishes and dribble that on the youth paws. And so since 2011, so 2011, that's like 13 years he's been doing whatever with the youth. Now, eventually somebody's going to come out and say that he played with them, because you don't just talk greasy in text messages and don't do nothing. So either way, they removed dude. He had an inappropriate contact or communications for now with young boys in the congregation, which is disgusting, because normally people in that position of power, more than likely some type of a Baptist or a church, some type of function where the pastor doesn't have full control. So like they have certain houses of worship where the pastor literally owns everything, and in those circumstances it doesn't matter what anybody says, but he's a apparently a part of a situation where Austin Stone Church. Let me look that up real quick. Austin Stone Church must be because a lot of some of these churches have a board. Stone Church denomination. Type in denomination. Okay, it's only 6 locations, so it doesn't really say on the face here, but obviously, because a lot of these churches trying to be slick now. They trying to hide what denomination they are. It says this particular one says 6 congregations. They be trying to pretend like they're not Seventh-day Adventists. They pretend they're not Baptist. They're not Methodist. They're not this. There's different, so many different denominations and churches now. But either way, they obviously have some type of a board set up so that they can have power over the head speaker of the church who represent them, which is good. Anytime you have a collective, you need to have some type of governing officials who's gonna lay down a law if necessary. But I gotta tell you, man, it's very sick to have a pervert and preying on the youth, because you can only get that off on the youth. You can't really manipulate grown adults like that if you think about it. Let me get off that story before I get upset. Let me see if there's anything else. I'm gonna look at Google. I was on Bing before. I'm gonna look at some science stuff. Science. Alright, let me see anything that catch my eye real quick. Okay, Greenland ice sheet is melting, turning the country green again. Cool. Then you have, it is confirmed the major Atlantic Ocean current is on the verge of collapse. Now that is bad. I'm not too scientifical, but I know that can't be good. Next, we got sense of solar eclipse with NASA. I don't know what that is. New satellite to study oceans atmosphere. Okay, study oceans and atmosphere. All right, cool. Another $1 billion gone. Excuse me. All right. Ain't too much left here. So anyway, I'm gonna leave it at that. I like to look at just to stay abreast of the current goings on in the world, just to get an overview before I get along with in my day. And I hope a lot of people around my age group try to stay in tune with local, national, and worldwide news on the daily, so you can kind of understand what's going on. Don't just look at social media and blogs and shit, because even though it's quicker news, a lot of times it's filled with a bunch of fluff and stuff that you don't need to be seeing, a bunch of celebrity gossip and all that crap. So just try to stay focused on the goings on in the world, whether it's political, if that's your cup of tea, science, whatever. Just try to stay in the know, so you know what you need to know.